looks in the inside. So there's two ways to visit it. One of them is you can take the guided tours with them on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays at 3 p.m. Or you can go to any of the plays that are going on right now, like orchestras, ballets, etc.
Do you know how much it is? Roughly?
They subsidize the tickets over here, so the cheapest ones are around $10, which is like 35,000 pesos.
That's all right.
It's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And the other building that you have over here is actually the one behind me. It's the Chancellery of Colombia, or the Foreign Relations Ministry. It is the antique presidential palace of Colombia. This was the first presidential house. And the San Carlos Palace was also the home to Simón Bolívar when he was president over here in the country. And I mention that and make it relevant because of what you see over there in that first window. Next to where that guy is standing up, you see a window with a plate just below it. That plate is dedicated to the escape of Simón Bolívar from here when some assassins broke in and tried to kill him back in 1828. They call it the Conspiracy of September. They never really found like the mastermind of the event, but a lot of the culprits were executed afterwards. And I know it sounds weird. Why did people want to kill Bolívar? I mean, Bolívar, wasn't he your independence leader, etc.? Yes, he was, but by the end of his life, he started becoming more autocratic. At the original part, he was a very democratic guy. He wanted democracy over here, a change of government, of course, from what they had in the past with the Spanish. But at the end, like a lot of frustration started to happen in his life. A lot of the people didn't want what he wanted, and he decided that he was the one that knew how to better run Latin America. So by the end, he self-declared himself president for life, and then he said that he would choose the next president after him,
That's a way.
and that is how it would work. So presidents would choose the next president, and the presidents would be for life. So of course, a lot of people were going very mad at this. They said, we lost our lands, we lost our family, we lost our money and the independence to get to democracy. Or some sort of democracy, because remember, the democracies back at the time were only for the landowners and men. I mean, democracy was very different from what we call democracy today, but still people wanted this. And they said, what you're basically saying is changing the name from king to president, but you're having all of the powers of the state within you. That's when people started rebelling against him, and that is why Bolívar died hated over here in Colombia. However, of course, history changed his reputation because he's the main liberator, but still people remember that he became an autocrat by the end of his life. And that's why that assassination attempt happened. It's also connected in some ways to his death, because he spent the night in a river called San Francisco, and it was a very cold night, a lot of rain. He was semi-naked because he didn't have time to dress up, and he already had the beginnings of tuberculosis. This worsened so much in just the next couple of months that he had to leave Bogota, and he spent the rest of his life in Santa Marta, which was 2 years, and after in 1830, December of 1830, he died of that illness. That's why so many people connect the assassination attempt with his actual death 2 years later. And I know, believe me, that it sounds like a Latin drama or a novel or something like this, fantastic, but it's true. And that's why when we go down, if you want to make a little stop over there in the window, you can see the text. It's in Latin, but it says, to those passers-by, don't forget to look towards this side when in a nefarious night of September of 1828, Bolívar escaped by jumping through that window. Any questions so far? Okay guys, let's go to our next stop of the tour, this way down.